Okay, I have all my markers lined up, and there are 3 individual markers. These must be like skin tones or browns. This is called brown, this is called ivory, and this one is just a blender pen, an alcohol marker pen. There's no color to this. And when you're coloring with alcohol markers, you really need to use alcohol-friendly paper or cardstock. And that cardstock that I use is the Georgia Pacific cardstock from Walmart. And I will insert a picture here so you know what it looks like, the packaging, because I don't have the packaging anymore. And that's basically what I use for alcohol marker coloring. There are other friendly ones, but I'm just going to stick to the Georgia Pacific just to keep it simple. And there's just a scrap piece of cardstock, and I'm going to use this new set that I got from Little Acres Creations, and this is called Santa's Coming, and this is their November new release. So I'm going to pick this mug here. Ink that I am using is Memento Tuxedo Black ink. That's basically all I use for alcohol markers. Again, there is other alcohol friendly ink, but I won't get into that. I'm just going to use what I have, and that's the Memento Tuxedo Black ink. And I have not tried these yet. This is the very first time I'm trying these markers. So I'm just going to get this mug inked up. But there's a cute little mug, and I always make sure it's dry, because if there's any ink pooled on there, then of course it's not going to work correctly. So let's just make sure it's dry. And I line these up a little bit. I'm going to have to push them back when I start coloring. But there's the mug, and I'm going to use these cute turquoise colors. And let's see, Stampin' Up calls these Pool Party. This is Pool Party. It's not turquoise, it's Pool Party. So I'm going to start with the brush tip here. And I'm just going to go in and I'm going to do lightest. Let me zoom in a little bit. Okay, now the tips of these are more firm because they're new. You don't want to push hard when you're coloring with alcohol markers. A light touch is all you need. You don't need to go crazy hard, just a light touch. Sometimes I can't even feel if I'm actually coloring. That's how light of a touch I'm using. And now I'm going to go in and I'm going to do some shading. And again, I'm going to use the brush end. There's the brush. And this is the darker, oh, what I call it, Pool Party. Yeah, Pool Party. And I'm just going to do a little bit of shading. I just want to make the handle a little bit more defined. Like that. Then I'm going to come in. You can get some nice good feathering strokes. Works pretty good. And around the rim here. I'm gonna stop and I'm gonna smell the marker. Yeah, it smells like alcohol markers. Okay, now I'll hold that up so you can see that. Let's see it blended fairly well. That's nice. Now I'm going to go in with a sweater. I want to make this look like a cable knit sweater, so I think I'm going to use, what is this color? This is called Crumb Cake. Isn't that just the cutest name? And this time I'm going to try the darkest first. Some people prefer to color, you know, the dark first and then the lightest, or the lightest and the darkest. It's just, that's just a personal preference. So I'm just going to go around the edges here for my shading. And this is called non-directional shading, because I'm not really thinking about where a light source is coming in or anything. This is just a quick way of coloring that I think looks good. Now I'm going to go in with the lighter crumb cake. The darker again. This time I'm going to try the nib here. There's the nib. Because I want to get these little lines right here. Well, that's slick. That's really nice if you want to get some fine detail. Yeah, it's a nice fine line. Then I want to hit some of these cables here just to define them a little bit. And I want to make it look like there's coffee in there. So I'm going to take this brown, or this bronze, sorry, bronze. I'm going to use the brush tip. I guess it could be coffee or hot cocoa. There. Let's see, for the buttons, let's give, oh geez, what color do I want the buttons? I don't want to go too bright. I think I'm going to go with this gray. So let me do this light gray, and this gray is called light smoky slate. All these fancy names. That's it. I've colored with the new Stampin Up Stampin Blends, and I think they worked fairly well. I would actually like this a little bit darker, so I can go back in. If I want that darker, I can go back in and I can go over it. I did watch a video, but there was somebody was saying, it was a demonstrator, and she was saying you had to work in small areas before the alcohol marker dried, and I don't believe that to be true, because that's the whole point of alcohol markers, is even if they're dry, you can go back over and you can still blend them, because when you mix alcohol with alcohol, it blends. But there, I made a little bit darker. So all in all, I would say I'm happy with these markers. I'll have to play with them some more, and it'll be interesting to do skin tones, because you know there's only these two basically for skin tones. But I think, you know, for Stampin' Up markers, from what I see with their stamps, and I do have some of their stamps, is that there's not a lot of people faces, you know what I mean? So this is a nice arrangement for just your everyday coloring and not just people. I color a lot of people, but I still have my Copics and my Spectrum Noir markers for that. So I'm not too worried that there's not a lot of skin tone varieties. I'm fine. But I did want to try these, and I wanted to do a real review because I know a little bit about coloring with alcohol markers. So I wanted to make sure that people got the right info. And these are simple to use too, because the colors are already matched up for you. You know, to these colors, to those, to those, to those, to those. And so you really don't have to really think about how you're going to shade, because they're already matched up for you. Because basically when I color, that's all I do is I use two colors, a darker and a lighter. Some people are super fancy and use 3 or 4 of the same shade. I don't do that. But that's a really good result. So I'm going to try these out some more. This would be good for blue jeans. What's this color called? Dark Night of Navy. But yeah, I think that'd be a good blue jean color. But yeah, I'm happy with my purchase. I'm glad I got them. And again, if you're interested in these markers, I am not a Stampin' Up demo. I got these from a friend's party, and the party is going until Saturday. And if you're watching this after Saturday, then there's no party. But I will have links down below to the Stampin' Up demonstrator I bought these from, and Heather's hostess code. So if you do decide to order something from Stampin' Up by Saturday, then please be sure to use that hostess code so Heather gets credit. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. And I've made it easy for you to subscribe. You can just click that subscribe button. And thanks for watching. Bye.